Hello, welcome to a live edition of Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast of your favorite tanking team in the Bay Area. And we're going to react to all of these Sharks trades they didn't make. William Eklund getting recalled from the Barracuda. So all that and more, whatever you guys are probably going to ask as well on today's live edition of Locked On Sharks.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, JD Young, contributor at Fear the Fin, RIP, and San Jose Hockey Now. Thank you guys for hanging out with me this Friday night to talk about the Sharks trade deadline and what they did and didn't do, and complain about why the Sharks only got a 7th-round pick for Nick Bonino, and, of course, celebrate our beloved William Eklund making it to the NHL this season. So let's just start digging through the trades here. If you're just joining for the first time, thank you for hanging out. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. A lot of fun stuff coming up here as the season winds down and we get really hardcore into draft season. So I guess we got to start with Nick Bonino, the baldest man on the board, getting traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins for a 5th and a 7th, and that 5th was flipped to the Canadiens to hold on to, a good chunk of his, half of his salary. So the Sharks were free and clear of his salary going into the off season. Don't have to keep that retention slot open. And then, so out of the whole deal, the Canadiens got Tony Sund, who's never, ever, ever getting back together with the Sharks. He's just staying in Europe and playing hockey. So Sharks own his rights. But yeah, he's probably never leaving Europe. And the Canadiens get a 5th-round pick. Montreal, of course, gets Nick Bonino at half price. And then the Sharks get a 2023 7th-round pick from Pittsburgh and defenseman Arvid Henrikson. Henrikson, do not expect anything out of Henrikson. Dakota disagrees, apparently. But Henrikson, he is a 25-year-old NCAA player who's played in the SHL. It's weird. He's played in the SHL as in hockey Allsvenskan, but I guess didn't lose his rights or his anyway. Then he went to USHL. Then he's played the NCAA as well. This year he's played 29 games. He has 1 assist, 36 penalty minutes, and he's 25. Big boy, 6'5", 212 pounds. But do not this was just you had to contract swaps type of thing. Of course. Whenever I can throw in a Taylor Swift reference, I'm going to do it as often as I can. Thanks, Jess. So don't expect much from that. Big thing here is the Sharks. I think this was more of doing Nick Bonino a solid, getting him into a situation where he can go play competitive hockey. And Nick Bonino, you look back, Nick Bonino was a perfect signing for the Sharks, right? He came in, he helped solidify kind of that middle six, bottom six guy. He wore an A for the Sharks. The Sharks got their money's worth out of Nick Bonino, and he came in here and did exactly what you want from him. And I think this is, we know the Sharks, they kind of do, they're more than willing, and Mike Grizz said they're more than willing to kind of take care of guys and stuff. So I know only getting back a 7th-round pick is a little disappointing, but you're free and clear of Nick Bonino's salary. It opens up a spot next to one Logan Couture or one Tomas Hertl, ta-da type of thing. We'll see. So I think you're doing a solid for a guy like Nick Bonino, who's been nothing but a good trooper for you, and that goes a long way, especially when you're kind of recruiting veterans to come play type of situation. So, well, whatever. Good for Nick Bonino. Go get blasted by the Hurricanes the first round of the playoffs. So, but yeah. So other news we got Vladislav Namestnikov. I'm not trying it anymore. Got flipped to the Winnipeg Jets for a 4th round pick. So basically, the Sharks picked up Mikey Eyssimont, traded him to the Lightning for Vlad's, and then traded Vlad's to the Winnipeg Jets for a 4th round pick. It was just a 3-way trade that was broken up over 6 weeks type of situation. So absolutely hilarious that I think Corey Schneider said basically the Sharks made the Jets pay a 4th round pick for dropping Mikey Eyssimont. That's basically what happened. So absolutely hilarious type of situation. Great. Love it. Again, you took something you found and you turned it into something tangible. I know it's a 4th round pick in 2025, and that's a long, long time from now. But again, that's just something that gives you more ammunition to go do something else. So if maybe another college player doesn't think that their rights are about to expire and they don't think they're going to sign with a team, now you have ammunition to go trade for that guy, just like how we saw with the Sharks trading for Henry Thrun, who should be expected to sign with the Sharks. So yeah, I'm 1000%. Again, you turn nothing into something type of situation that gives you ammo to go do something else later on. And then of course, RIP to the most handsome man in the Sharks organization, Scott Reedy, getting traded to the Dallas Stars for Jacob Peterson. I actually kind of like digging into Peterson. Might be a nice little find here for the Sharks. So again, another Swedish guy. Find somebody who loves college kids and Swedes like Mike Greer, because man, we're starting to get some of the Russian influence there as well. But Peterson, 23, from Sweden, like I said, 6'1", 180 pounds, center, left winger, left-handed shot. Like he came in almost like Scott Reedy, rookie year, kind of found his way on the NHL team, made an impact. Peterson had 12 goals, 5 assists for 17 points in 65 games. This year didn't really get a chance on the NHL team, but I think, had a pretty solid season with the Texas Stars, or AHL affiliate. 13 goals, 13 assists, 26 points in 44 games. This is, I think, Scott Reedy's struggled this year, and whatever, if it's the new system, whatever it is, just Scott Reedy kind of lost his way, and maybe this is a chance for him to go get an opportunity to go do something or maybe get his career on track. Peterson got DeBoard. When have we seen Peterson get in, lose an opportunity, or when have we seen Pete DeBoard whenever you get a chance to put a skilled player in the lineup? Or would you rather put, we know about Pete DeBoer. So I think this is a good find. Scott Reedy, who's clearly kind of lost his way with the Sharks organization. Wish the best of luck to him. Really nice dude. Really great to talk to. But hopefully, I think the Peterson trade, I think this is a really good, again, my career in his roster churning phase right now, finding guys who fit the system and then trying to turn those guys into something. So I think the Sharks might, I'm not going to say Barabanov trade 2.0, but you might have found a player who fits your system a lot better and can right now he's going to help the Barracuda today. Scott Reedy's not really helping the Barracuda that much, especially right now with William Eklund getting called up. His opportunity for, Peterson's going to get a chance with the Barracuda, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing for the Sharks at some point this season as well. Before we start answering your questions, talk about my Swedish son, do need to take a quick break and talk to you guys about our friends over at FanDuel. Pulling up the thing here. Boom. FanDuel. Midway point of the NBA season is here. Now is the perfect time to download the FanDuel app, America's #1 sportsbook, because new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 as bonus bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, just download this FanDuel Sportsbook app. Safe, secure, super easy to use. Then you can bet on everything from money line to point scores and threes drained. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same-game parlay. So don't miss the chance to get your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook betting partner of the NBA. All right, I've seen, Eklund's only going to play 9 games. So the Sharks have, 20 games left? He plays half of them, basically. That's fine. He's earned his opportunity to play in the NHL. He's been the Barracuda's most consistent player for the past, 2 months. As I said, let him see if everything that he's worked on the past year since you sent him away, let's see if it's all how it's coming together. See if you can make an impact. And then exactly what you got to work on going into the offseason, into the summer. If it's continue to add more muscle, continue to add more strength, work on your skating, whatever it is, right? It gives you that taste. So I think I'm super happy for Eklund. I will be at the Sharks game tomorrow, credentialed. So I will hopefully get to talk to Eklund about his first game back. So super, super happy though. I mean, he's if you guys have watched the Barracuda games, and if not, you've heard me, I've said it a million times. He's been their best player, most consistent player, and he's worked on everything that they've asked him to work on. So hopefully I'm really hoping we get Eklund, Hurdle, Zetterlund, that's a line that guess what? You can roll that line. That's a potential line for you next year, because I don't think the Sharks are going to be super active going into free agency this year. So let's get to some of you guys' questions. So I'm going to try to keep this at half an hour tonight, because it's been a long couple days here. So I'd like to enjoy my Friday night. So what do you think Mike Grier is going to do between now and the 2023 draft? More draft picks, college prospects, KHL signings, but Eklund play the last 20 games and detank the Sharks. Eklund's not going to detank the Sharks. Eklund is not single-handedly saving this franchise right now. So I would not be surprised if Mike Grier is very aggressive with the NCAA signings. So again, guys who were never drafted, they're hitting their senior year right now or finish up their senior years, finish up their college hockey seasons. They basically just jump into a big free agent pool. And I would not be surprised if Mike Grier signs a guy or two, is try to be aggressive here to try to get some of these guys in the system. So we've kind of already seen Grier, he's targeting defensemen, right? How many defensive players has he added? And we know how much he likes college players. So that would be my guess. Excuse me. Sorry. I think he's going to be kind of churning over every rock and boulder or whatever to try to find people right now. So that would be my guess. Let's see. Any other questions here? I think getting an offer for Jason, getting off for AC Mott and being free, he took right? AC Mott 6. I said it the other day. 6 weeks ago, most people didn't know who Mikey AC Mott was. I didn't know who Mikey AC Mott was, right? You found something and you turned him in. You turned him into something. So, and I don't think it was going to be a Barabanov 2.0 situation. So, yeah. Let's see. Currently watching. Yeah, I'm not watching the CUDA game tonight, guys. I'm sorry. It's been a long couple days here. So, yeah. I mean, like I said, I think the AC Mott deal. If you're upset with the Bonino deal, point to the AC Mott deal. So, yep. Mike Grier's moving out small finesse players and making the team bigger, grittier, and playoff tough. I expect Mike Grier to trade Eklund for no. I like this trading Eklund. Mike Grier is not dumb. He's not going to just trade good players type of situation. And again, Eklund has done everything the organization has asked him to do, right? He's not just going to trade him. So, like, yes. I don't care about winning. I don't care about winning all the rest of the season. No, again, but the Sharks aren't going to go 24-game losing streak. Like, that's just not mathematically possible. So they're going to lose a bunch of games down this rest. That kind of gets to like James Reimer. I know there was a lot of people kind of surprised. Why didn't James Reimer get traded? I mean, have you seen James Reimer play? It's not been that great recently, and I know it's a mess in front of him. But like James Reimer's had a down season, and I know he's open to coming back next year. I love you, buddy, but yeah, it's time to find somebody else. So especially if you think Kaapo Kähkönen can continue how he's played down the stretch here, you're just go find another cheap backup, veteran backup type of situation. So. Should we have traded Hertl last year and signed Timo, or did Timo want to because of the losing? If so, the Hertl trade, you have to remember, like, guys, there's a whole new GM, right? If Mike Grier is the GM of the team last year, I'm like 90% sure that Tomas Hertl isn't on the team. Okay, this is what happens when you change. Right? You change who's in charge. They're going to want to get their people. They're going to want to do things their way type of situation. So you can't fall for Joe Will, right? Doug Wilson took a step. Remember, at the time they signed him, Doug Wilson just taken a leave of absence for his health. We didn't know if Doug Wilson was going to be back or not. It wasn't until the end of April that we found out Doug Wilson is leaving. So I think it was the end of April, whatever. This was after Tomas Hertl has signed. The assumption was Doug Wilson would probably be back. Doug Wilson says, I'm not coming. I can't come back. That's when the Sharks have to go out. So that's why it's hard to if you could have a mulligan, I think trading Hertl at the deadline last year would have been the smart way to go. We talked about it. Kyle and I talked about it. That would make a bunch of sense. But again, right now, though, I think having Hertl on the team is right here. Jason's thinking right exactly what I'm saying. Having Hertl on the team right now, it's okay to have adults around the team. Like, you look at, I was on the live stream today, you look at like a team like Arizona, right? They burn this thing to the ground, and then you're going to have a bunch of kind of kids trying to figure this out. Having guys like Hertl and Couture and Vlasic around who are adults, they're professionals, they know what the culture is, they know how to win hockey games. Having those guys around and teaching the young guys is super cliche sounding, but like, it's fine. Hertl is a very, very productive. Hertl's having a fine season. He's not having an otherworldly season. I think he deferred a little bit too much to Timo Meier this year, that's fine, helping your boy try to get paid, but like, again, I think having Hertl around for the next couple of years, it's not like Hertl's turning 32, 33, 34. Like, Hertl's exiting his prime right now, but he's still going to be a good hockey player for the next few years. So that's why, like, yes, it's you put a lot of money and assets into Hertl right now, but he's been healthy all season, right? He missed 2 games from suspension, and he missed 1 game for the birth of his child. He's been there every night. He hasn't been as consistent as you would like, no. But, I mean, I think the past couple of games he's played really, really well. And just I think we're going to see Hertl start to hit the back of the net here soon. You're seeing the flashes beforehand. I'm not worried about Hertl. And again, having Hertl play with Eklund, my hope is Quinn staples Eklund to Hertl and is like, here you go. Hertl, puck protection, kind of the big body on that line, especially if Zetterlund's there too. 2 big bodies, and then you go let Eklund go do William Eklund things. I think that is a recipe for success right there. And that could be a line you literally roll out into next season. So, yeah, let's see. All right, so this is the question. Yeah, Eklund's contract. I realized the 9-game thing was for multiple years. He's still using 1 of 3. So again, it's like this. They have a slide rule, especially from when he signed it. Right, you can until I think it's the start of that season, whatever his age was. You can slide his contract if he doesn't play X amount of games. So it's the 10-game rule, right? If you play 10 games, that contract kicks in. You played 9 games last year. All right, reset the clock. If he plays over 9 games this year, then type of thing. I don't care if he plays 10 games or not. I think actually in the long run, it saves you money if you have to sign him to a long-term contract shorter. Because, again, like, don't pinch pennies over this right now. It's going to save you money long. If you look at like a team like Colorado, right? Or like the Sens, or in Buffalo, some of these teams where they know they have a guy and they're being aggressive with signing these young guys to long-term deals early. Yes, there's always the case maybe this doesn't work out. But if you believe in a guy and you sign him to like a 8x7, guess what? In a couple of years, that $7 million is going to look like a steal, right? If you have a potential all-star type of player, or you have, like what we believe William Eklund could be, signing him to a long-term deal as soon as you can is probably going to save you money instead of let's push it back, play the RFA game some. It's going to just cost you more money down the road because you're going to have, again, it's a lot of it's based on stats and ice time, right? If you look at contracts, how much ice time you play and how many stats can you accumulate during that time. The more NHL games Eklund plays, the better his stats and ice time is going to be. So if you get to that contract before he can, you get what I'm saying? You save money in the long run. So let's do some line talk. Tony Couture coming with all the questions tonight. New forward lines will merge in the last 20 games. Hurdle line, Couture line, Stern line, Lawrence line. I think Lawrence line is going to be about the same. Poor Kevin LeBanc, never getting out of that doghouse now. It'll be interesting to see who they play with Couture and Barabanov. I don't think they're going to break that. You can't break up Couture and Barabanov, right? Those guys have been playing way too well together. You're going to try to find somebody else. So let's play some, maybe you have Andreas Johnson. Maybe you'll go like Couture, Barabanov, Andreas Johnson. And then I would go Hurdle, Eklund, and then Zetterlund, because I think, again, you're kind of building some potential chemistry for these guys. And then probably a third line of like Gregor, Svechnikov, Lawrence, and then, or not Lawrence, Sturm, and then, Lindblom, LeBanc, Lawrence on your fourth line. That'd be my guess for the lines right there, at least if I was going to do it. So again, I'm not David Quinn. So 4-goal night for Bedard tonight. Again, we just pray to the hockey gods that this will hopefully be it. Let Reimer start the rest of the game so we lose 20 in a row. James Reimer is too much of a professional. He's not gonna. That wouldn't happen. But so now it's back to the threading the needle, right? You want some of these young guys to do well. Right, you want your William Eklunds to do well. You want your Capo Kakins to do well. Build that confidence going into next season. That way, you go into next season and kind of, see what you have. Type of situation. You want, as I've said before, are these guys answers to questions? So, like a question like, do we need to figure out our goaltender of the future? Is William Eklund who we think he is, or is he an answer to that question? That's why you. Again, threading the needle, trying to answer some of these questions, but also continue to lose as many games as you possibly can going down. And I still, the Sharks just aren't. I know William Eklund's a very talented player, but I don't think he's going to move the needle enough right now. Again, he's going to be playing his 10th career NHL game tomorrow. Like, don't expect, Let's take a deep breath. It's not like Connor Bedard walking in. Like, Connor Bedard is going to step in the NHL and be a 20-goal scorer from like his first year. Like, that is a realistic expectation for Connor Bedard. Let's get William Eklund. Let's let him get his feet wet, kind of figure things out, build some chemistry with Hurdle and Zetterlund type of situation. Any chance Chmelevski gets signed? he's had a really, really nice season over in the KHL. I don't know. There's, potentially open spots over here, but I don't know. Maybe he might just be happy over there. He was an all-star in the KHL. He's never going to be an all-star in the NHL. He might just be happy, go stay in Russia, go make a nice career in Russia and make some money and type of situation. So I would put it at minimal, to be honest. So after a couple days to digest, what do you think of the Chimo trade? You're still disappointed that you didn't get that first, like that kind of grade A, like this is the guy pick. Mukamadulin. He, I'm higher on him than Kyle. I think he could be a potential. There's still a long road of development for him, but I think he's a guy, and we've seen Mike Grier, like how many trades or how many times he's working on this blue line. That is kind of his obsession right now, is this blue line. Doug Wilson left a lot in the cupboard in the forward department, right? In the 2020 draft, you got Ozzy, who's starting to kind of figure things out in the AHL right now. You got Bordelot, who's going to be in the NHL next year. You have Robbins, who's probably, I think another year. I think a year for Robbins in the AHL, where he can be the guy, right? Especially with Eklund and Bordelot, Robbins is going to kind of be the guy next year. I expect Robbins to have a monster season for the Barracuda next year. Like Doug Wilson left plenty in the cupboard in the forward department. You're going to have Phil Beestead coming over here soon. You're getting a premier forward in the first 5 picks of this year's draft. So whatever, there's stuff to be happy, but this blue line has been a hot mess, and especially with Ryan Merkley not working out. He was the one guy you could point to. Galen Rock, Havlat and LaRock, we're excited about those guys, but they've been hurt a lot of the year. Still going to be a little bit before they're making an NHL impact. So Mukamadulin you can point to and be like, okay, at least he's a second pair defenseman, and there's a chance he's very toolsy. If he puts it all together, maybe he can kind of jump up to that first pair defense for him. But Zetterland, we'll see. Shown a couple little flashes here and there. It's a little tough kind of getting dropped into a situation right now. So yeah. All right. Let's a couple more questions here so I can go enjoy the rest of my Friday night. I got a long day tomorrow. Again, reach for the Bedards. If you miss, you'll land among the Fantilli. Adam Fantilli is an amazing player, and I would love to have Adam Fantilli on my team as well. Again, if you're in the top 3, you're getting either Connor Bedard, Adam Fantilli, or Leo Carlson, and you're going that is a massive, massive piece for that is your best prospect in the pool. It gives Eklund a partner. Like, you're going to be so happy with no matter who you pick in the top 3. So just check that Mooks. Good. Let's get Mooks or Mookies or something. We gotta get this going, because saying Mukamadulin or whatever, like saying that, please, let's get Mooks going. Hashtag get Mooks going. Yeah. So yeah, I saw the goal. Dude can shoot. Again, very toolsy. You hope he can put it all together. So is this an off-season offer sheets? That'll be fun. Plenty of time for the content boy to look at offer sheets. Again, I still think you do have some picks. The Sharks have 10 picks right now in this year's draft. There is rules of what you got to give up and stuff like that, and they have to be your picks. Like, you can't just be like, here, take my first round pick. And if the Sharks have a top 3 pick, they're not trading the top 3 pick this year, but whatever, So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They have 12 picks in this year's draft. Again, that gives you a nice little that gives you stuff to do things. So if you want to continue to, I would not be surprised if Mike Grier is active in the trade debt, slinging some of these picks to try to get some guys who have some upside. Like I think I talked about yesterday, have some guys have some upside who maybe are kind of miscast elsewhere right now. So, okay, a couple more. Mook. Robbins Gushin next year. Yeah, I think that, yes. Robbins Gushin next year. Expect a good. I missed this. Greer's comments about Biden coming over when their season ends surprised me. Bring them over again. Let them. The SHL seasons they end way sooner. So yeah, bring them over. You will have to. Neither one of those guys are signed right now. It's where like nobody in the 2022 draft class is signed right now. So you will have to sign them at some point. But any contract you sign now officially start for next year. You can make them start for next year. So yeah. Anyway. All right. I think I'm about done. Let's see. If you think, we'll ask one more. If you think in this, would they trade down a little bit? Maybe that's the case. You can draft Sandin Pellikka and pick up another first. So we saw Mike Greer last year trade down, add a bunch more assets. I think the talent at the top 10 is amazing. But I mean, if you get Sandin Pellikka, yes. If you missed my Sandin Pellikka profile with Patrick, go check that out. I think it was Tuesday. He throws around Erik Karlsson more than once, and that's coming from Sandin Pellikka's coach. So Erik Karlsson comps more than once. But all right, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you guys for hanging out. I know Friday night, you guys are nerds. Look at 52 of you nerds in here watching me instead of doing something else on a Friday night. You guys. Anyway, thank you guys so much. It does mean a lot. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm gonna, we got plenty of more content as the season winds down and we get into the off season. Gonna, all that fun stuff. So, thank you guys very much. It means a lot to me. Enjoy William Eklund tomorrow. I will be there up in the little press box. I'm super excited about seeing my Swedish son succeed. So. Follow me on Twitter, my fry hole. Follow the show, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Locked on Sharks. Listen, of course, wherever you get podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube right now, as you're watching this, please subscribe. It helps. That's the easiest way to put money in my pocket is subscribing on YouTube and watching on YouTube. So get that monetization. Got that monetization. So if you want to help out your guy, YouTube is the way to go. So until Monday, we'll talk about Eklund's, Monday's going to be Eklund Day on Monday. So, until then, bye, friends.